Well, the British Grand Prix has come and gone. Always one of my favourite race weekends of the entire year. And this year was a bit more for me because I was at the British GP. Had some insane access with McLaren on the weekend. And probably the best looking view from a hotel room ever, trackside at Silverstone. But I'm back now from Silverstone. So let's do a little meme review of the British GP. We haven't done one for a while for a Grand Prix. But I have a feeling there might be some pretty good ones off the back of that race weekend. Context, they were asking Piastri about McLaren overtaking Alpine in the World Constructors' Championship, and Alonso's in the back. This is a sensational photo. Oscar being asked about that, and I don't know how he's done it. Maybe he's just got, Alonso's in his meme arc this year, with, him doing so well earlier on in the season. He was all over the content, and even when Aston aren't doing so well in this race, he's still there, ready for the meme content. The placing couldn't be better. He's grinning like a Cheshire cat, and he's placed himself right over where the Sky F1 graphics are for the Constructors' Championship. Aston in third, McLaren have leapfrogged Alpine up into fifth place. They had a double retirement, not great, horrendous weekend for Alpine, really. Just by themselves, but then also in comparison to their nearest rivals and the people they care about. Obviously, Alonso being one of them, having left the team, left them high and dry in the middle of that season, and obviously involved Piastri with that whole contract debacle. So this is just a poetic moment. This is upper echelon tier shithousery from Alonso, and just, I don't know, maybe Sky also knew what they were doing with, placing the graphic above there as soon as they saw Alonso in the background. I don't really know. I have a feeling maybe Fernando maybe even heard the question be asked in the pen, and just, because I think he's waiting for his turn with his, PA person or whatever on the left-hand side of him. So I feel like he may have heard what the question was and just took some pride, so took some joy in basically hearing Oscar have to talk about that. Alonso, no matter what, how good of a character he's been this season, he's still also a bit of a devil inside, I think. He just enjoys this kind of level of cheekiness. Pocket sand. Well, it looks a bit like Lando's just literally thrown a bag of sand backwards to Hamilton. This is where the Haas parked up, I think, so to try and, dry up the oil or any kind of liquids that spilled onto the circuit. But it very much looks like he's gone with the smoke screen tactic behind to try and maybe put off Hamilton as he went for the overtake. This is actually just F1 Race Stars 2 in development. This is what we're going to get. Save the bees. Vettel was all about that this year. Nah. Lando's just punching bees in the post-race interviews. It was a very weird moment. He's gone for the clean left hook on the bee. If Vettel was watching that, I'm just imagining him with like a drink in his hand, like, oh my god, he's just gone for them. Me in the group chat during and after every race weekend. Can we have a chat? My friend who doesn't watch Formula 1, no. I'm sure it would have been extremely interesting. Yeah, that is correct. Most non-F1 fan people in group chats don't give a toss about what you're on about when it comes to race day. You could put as many messages as you want. You could say a bloody volcano interrupted on the circuit. They wouldn't give a damn. But yeah, that was, let's just talk about that moment as well. Unbelievably awkward. Red Bull beating so many records nobody even cares about. Norris P2, Piastri P4, and just in the background, no one cares. Red Bull equaling McLaren's 11 wins in a row. I'm actually, you know what? I didn't even clock that. I did see, obviously, Sky say, when Red Bull was celebrating, they've done the 11 in a row. The fact it's equaled McLaren's one, and that's from that insane season, isn't it? With Senna and Prost, if I'm not mistaken, which is actually pretty insane if you really deep it. But at the same time, do any of us care? No. Okay? There are much more good feel stories going on right now in Formula 1. Actually, no one gives a tot. I don't think even Max cares. This week on the Max Verstappen Experience episode, season 23, E11. This is the best Photoshop I have ever seen in a Formula 1 context. The level of detail that has gone on here, you've got You've got the logo for like a fake Max Verstappen Experience podcast. You got Max with a microphone. He's got headphones on. Lando as well with a mic next to him. You've got Lewis stood up or sat down, whatever you want to do. Headphones on, mic's right there. He's working on a laptop as well. And there's multiple equipment going on. Top tier echelon shithousery Photoshop here. This is the best one yet. We've had some pretty good ones in terms of this whole, meme that Verstappen is doing a weekly podcast basically in the driver's room because he's always in there basically. So it's just his guests rotating in. But this takes the top. This is the cherry on the top. This is actually incredible stuff. R.I.P. Checo. Listen, it's not good enough. It's really not. Yes, he recovered to some points, but really, come on, in that Red Bull, it's 5 qualifyings now. He's not made it to Q3. This one was let alone Q2. It's actually just ridiculous. And then right underneath it, Helmut Marko beefing with a photographer. What it... But he literally went for the shoulder barge. Oh my god. How much of a man-child is he? Could he just not say excuse me? Or also, to be fair, the photographer's trying to do his job getting a sick photo of a much more impressive moment of Lando McLaren getting the P2. I'm assuming this is a post-race or might be qualifying, I don't know. But really? He's literally about to take this sick photo close up and he's beefing him. Really? It's that time of the week. Well, you know what? When you're getting beat by a Williams of Albon, you know something's gone wrong. I mean, that should be nothing to take away from Williams and Albon, by the way. They have been awesome as of late. It genuinely looks like that Williams car is actually picking up some good pace. Albon's in a bit of a flow state right now in terms of the level he's driving at. And when the car and the circuit works well, obviously Austria was a bit of a different story, but it seems that when the car's clicking with the circuit, it's the right kind of conditions. Very much like what happens in Formula 1. Sometimes you just get a certain kind of scenario where it all comes together. But it's happened twice now for Williams. Canada to Silverstone as well. Let's hope there's some more for Albon and Williams. But yeah, Ferrari, it wasn't looking good. Sainz, again, getting so unlucky. Not Ferrari's fault totally, because the safety car, you can't help that. Piastri also didn't get helped out. But yeah, it's not looking great, This was meant to be Ferrari catching up a bit with some upgrades. And really, it's McLaren taking off like a rocket ship. Mercedes are still trying to hold on and carry on their own pace. And Ferrari are spinning their wheels a little bit. Nearly gave us a heart attack out there. McLaren on a hards is still faster than the Mercedes on softs, and that's all our reactions really to how McLaren did in qualifying in the race. I mean, I couldn't believe it when Lando crossed the line in Q3 to go provisional pole. I mean, I'll put the clip in now. I literally could not believe it. But then to hold Merck off on hards, I mean, you clearly saw, and Lando said it in the post-interview, he still would have preferred softs because it was a very challenging time, in the first initial laps. But that's exactly the job he had to do. Hold off Lewis enough until the softs start to wear a bit, the hards warm up a bit, and then they can kind of equalize a little bit. And then actually, in the end, McLaren were pulling away on the hards, as Russell even said on the radio. Were very, very impressive. So I really, really beg that this continues for McLaren. Okay, sure, maybe not the podium straight away next race and continuously, but I really hope this is the real upturn of form for them, because it was a very difficult start to this season. But yeah, this was absolutely, I think, everyone's reaction. Keep the chrome livery. It clearly adds performance. Yep, this was the reaction as well. That was, yeah, after getting elated by the provisional pole from McLaren, it was then this. It was looking so great, and then in the end, it's the usual thing. Just accepting that, yeah, okay, Verstappen's there. We forgot about him. He was still on the lap. But man, we can all dream. My brother in Christ, you drive a Red Bull. Checo, yeah, being held at gunpoint by Checo. And it's Checo again. And then from afar, it's Checo. And to be honest, we need a fifth shot for the 5th time. He's not made it through in qualifying. Again, like from outside the church, through a mirror, through a window, looking again at this guy who's looking at these 3. Because that is is literally what it is. He's got no one to blame. He's in a Red Bull. Verstappen fined $50,000 for touching Norris's rear end. What is going on there, mate? That is some questionable positioning right there. Jack Doohan waving goodbye to Oliver Bierman after fighting for a long time for the podium. I watched this race live, actually, and this was a pretty crazy fight. He then had it off, but I didn't see the waving of the... Okay, that's something I missed live. Him waving. That is great. That is top level banter from him. He's been fighting so hard, and it's just a little wet. Goodbye now. Goodbye, sir. He's probably so gassed that he just made that mistake, because it was a very good fight between them. And finally got some respite, basically. But yeah, that's Clark. I want to see more of that in Formula 1. We've seen it a few times in the past with certain characters like Mark Webber. Remember when he used to give the middle finger? He was giving the middle finger to Seb at Malaysia and stuff like that. We need to see more of that in Formula 1. A bit more personality in the cockpits. When Alpine announces you're driving for the next season, yikes. Yikes. Absolute top tier camera zoom in as well. And reaction from Piastri, giving big The Office vibes there. Very much so. Enough said, really. Enough said. We do believe in Alex Albon. Yeah, Scott, that wasn't the right correction there, but yeah, okay, something like that. Yeah, cool. Praise to Albon. When the title contender misses Q3 for the 5th time in the row. Oh, bloody hell. He must be thinking, how's he done that? How's it again? Again? A 5th time? The boss is back, boys. Yep, he's back to witness his old team be overtaken by a Williams. Happiness of this man just going and bear hugging everyone. Zach Brown, when he's happy, he's hilarious. He also just, the way he celebrates, I think it's just, I feel it's so American. Like, you can tell he's American. Just like, yeah, go on, brother. Yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. Just the same big fist, and you can just, it just exudes American joy, but it's also great. It's also great. The actual shirt Dank Lord Crofty is wearing in the booth, to Sexted, and it's got Ted all over. Did someone give him this shirt? Because I saw a photo of someone interviewing Toto Wolff in a similar sort of shirt with his face all over. Toto Wolff's, that is. So I'm wondering if there's some sort of giveaway being gone. Absolutely wonderful. I actually want to own this. What a wonderful shirt. Okay, if he stepped out in the public like this, not just the booth, fair play to Sexton. Leaked footage from the upcoming Apple original film. Oh, brother, no. Tim Cook needs to stay away. Look, genius up there. You know, enthusiasm, absolutely not. Sponsors, different. Yeah, I mean, McLaren really have gone to town with a lot of partners. Zach has done... Do you remember how dull the McLaren used to be and how they are now? It's actually incredible when you look at it. Overalls, the car, everything. Caption this. This was 7 days ago, but it really fits well for the race. This is Carlos in the cockpit when he realizes everyone around him under the safety car strapping on softs and mediums, and he's going to be stuck with his hards that he put on pre-safety car. Started at the bottom, now we are here. We happy? Oh, we are happy. We are very happy. It's a great turnaround. Let's hope it continues. Ryanair's had to get... I saw this. Ryanair has no chill. The admin is absolutely putting anyone on smoke. It's not just Perez. He's done it with other drivers as well, but the only front row Perez is guaranteed is a Ryanair one. This is clever because he's also getting Ryanair, you know, seats as well, marketed as well. It's not just just banter as well. He's got the plane in. He's got Ryanair in like that. Fair play. T1 genius stuff. The McLaren on hards, the Ferrari on hards. It's a bleak day, gentlemen. And over here, it's absolutely rosy. If we just added a little bit more chrome, watching the British GP, laps 1 to 4, absolutely loving it. Laps 5 to 28, correct. Yeah, okay, this is it. Safety car out, lap 29 to 52, come on, and then, yeah, okay, same, as we were, yeah, maybe McLaren, a little bit more chrome next time, and maybe the win's there. Gunter did warn us about what he'd do for points. My God, man, what is going on here? What is going on here? This ain't safe for work. This is not. We need to scroll off. Laurent Rossi every time he enters the Alpine factory. Why are we not winning races? I specifically requested this, okay? And requests need to be met. And he's finding out it's a lot tougher than just wanting and putting a little bit of backing, because it's not going well, is it? The 5-year plan, it was looking good up until the few little road bumps they've had this season. That's putting it mildly. New podcast just dropped. Seems like that race really aged them. Verstappen's dad, Lando's dad, Hamilton's dad. It's the podium. Yeah, it really did age them. Those 52 laps really took it out of them all. Yeah, it's Formula 1, it's a tough sport, alright, really ages you. Charles Leclerc, there's no more Forza Ferrari left in him. You know what? I don't know about anyone else, you guys at home, low-key, why does it suit him? It actually does suit him quite a lot. I actually now want this to happen. I need to see this happen. It actually suits him. Go to the dark side. Sat Brown in the pits, handing out high fives. Absolute slut. Yes! Yes! Sometimes I think he settled for becoming an F1 driver. His true calling, weatherman. Yeah, there's some rain. At the start of the race, what was it, within like 10 laps? Yeah, I'm definitely sure there's a bit more rain than you really think there is. I can tell from inside here. Okay, I've got all the data. It's not sweat this time. And in the end, really wasn't that much. This was it. This was the show I was on about. Austrian reporters, everybody. Surely there was some link up, or it was just a happy accident that Crofty had that shirt and this guy had this one. This one is actually even a bit better for the fact he's interviewing the man it involves. I know Ted was maybe on the blower to Crofty in the com box, but this is outstanding stuff. Really fantastic stuff. And on this brilliant shirt, we're going to end it off today, guys. If you have enjoyed it, then be sure to hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.